Chapter 3 After the disaster at Mount Rubberin, Arthur felt a little dizzy. While the rest of the class took turns competing, he found a shady spot to sit down. Arthur felt bad about messing up in the maze, but he told himself it wasn't all his fault. It was like he had a lot of experience with maze. Arthur remembered the ancient Greek story about Theseus, who found his way out of the maze by unbolting the ball of string behind him. But nobody told us to bring any string. Today he trusted whoever had clearly thought ahead. A loud groan drew his attention. Just behind some trees, a bunch of kids were lined up in front of a large stone. The stone was about the size of a wheelbarrow. It looked like a perfectly ordinary stone, except for the fact that the sword had stick out of it. Arthur heard a groan again. It came from the kid who had holding the sword handle. It seemed to be trying to pull it from the stone. She had not having much luck. "Next," said the peasant who was overseeing the whole effort. Arthur walked up to him. "What's this line for?" he asked. "He or she who pulled the sword from the stone is truly our king or queen. This an equally opportunity sword." "That sounds fair," said Arthur, but the peasant wasn't done speaking. "Or you might want to set this right. 'Tis a gentle hand to a ruler land." Arthur waited his turn, watching all the kids ahead of him failing in their attempt. Arthur didn't understand why it should be so hard. If the sword had been put into the stone, surely it couldn't be pulled out the same way. But when he finally got his chance, he did know better than the rest. "Ugh," he groaned, but the sword didn't move. Arthur wanted to try again, but Francie interrupted him. "Arthur," she shouted, "we have to go. It's time for the tug-of-war." The Red Quarter team and the Greenbrook team stood on opposite sides of a muddy pit. Each side was holding one end of thick rope. A ribbon had been tied in the middle. The whichever team couldn't grab the ribbon would win the contest. So far, the ribbon had not moved much to either side. "We must use brain as well as brawn," Mr. Price Jones called out of his team. "Remember the ancient Egyptians building their pyramid, and pay heed to Archimedes." The Greenbroker paused for a moment, and they pulled sharply together. "Uh-oh," cried Arthur as he and the other Red Quarter were yanking forward into the mud. "The winner," announced the Herald standing by, indicating the Greenbroker team. Afterward, Mr. Price Jones walked over to Mr. Rabbit, who was picking himself up and wiping dirt from his pants. Suddenly, "Surely," Mr. Price Jones declared, "you remember Archimedes, who said that with the proper leverage he could move the world. Apparently, your students haven't learned that yet." "Apparently not," said Mr. Rabbit, toughly. "Apparently not."